The views and opinions expressed on this program solely those of the individual contributors and do not necessarily represent the official views of the Voice of the People 90.3 FM, Lagos. We do not endorse or take responsibility for any content shared by our followers or third-party users. Thank you.
Hello, good morning and welcome. It's a brand new day, it's a beautiful day and it's a rainy day. I don't know what it's like wherever you are, but it's raining here in Lagos and we're hopeful that it will be a day that all of us will rejoice and be very glad in. I welcome you. How are you today? I'm Cordelia Okpei and this is VOP 90.3 FM in the city of Lagos, reaching you live from the heart of Lagos, and you're listening to us on 903 90.3 FM. You can follow us on all social media platforms at VOP 903 FM, and also you can follow me on social media at Cordelia Okpei, and is OKPEI for Cordelia Okpei, Cordelia Cordelia. At about this moment, we'll bring you the headlines, and then Rufai Oseni, Ejiro Mokoro will join with their analysis. After them, you, the parliamentarian, you will join us. Invite your friends, invite everyone to be a part of it and make your own contributions. Then at 10:30, when I do return after the Igbo segment, we'll be taking a look at advertising, you know, the role it has to play with everything, and we'll be having some major players in the advertising industry. They'll be joining us, and I'd like you to please make sure you don't miss that. So without much ado, I'll be moving on straight to take the very first paper I have in front of me. And which one is this one? I have the Daily Times. The Daily Times has this story that says purchase of new presidential jets insensitive, and a lot of people are complaining about it, but this particular headline simply says purchase of new presidential jets insensitive. Profligate says PRP wants Tinubu to step down project. That step down project asks FG to focus on delivering tangible benefits to the Nigerian people. We also have, we've not abandoned probing Buhari's 30 trillion naira ways and means. This is coming in from the Senate, and they denied that they had abandoned that because that was what the story was like or feeling like, because nobody was hearing much, and that they're saying the probe of the 30 trillion naira expanded by the immediate past administration of former President Muhammadu Buhari between 2015 and 2023 will definitely go on. There is a committee constituted to carry out that investigation, and they have declared that it will not stop and is still on course. And the chairman of the committee, Senator Issa Jibrin, APC Kogi, he made that declaration, and he said that through a note that he has signed personally. We're still waiting to see the outcome of that. Tinubu reiterates commitment to tackle insecurity in Northwest Nation. That is in Northwest and the nation generally. This, as the riders, urges Nigerians to continue to unite as a people, embrace peace for development. Says green industrial vision complementary to oil, gas investment drive. FG, Northwest governors will brainstorm to tame insecurity. This is according to a minister. NCDC reports 1,598 suspected cholera cases across 107 LGAs. We're still calling on everybody to please be safe, stay safe, and watch your environment. Keep it clean and make sure what you're eating, you understand the source of the food you're eating, because cholera right now is real. CJN blames poor justice delivery on ineffective management of courts, and Army making significant contributions to national development. This is according to the COAS. Those were from the Daily Times, and I have this one from the Daily Trust, and it simply goes on to give us the major headline that Shetima to Sokoto government Sultan must be guarded jealously. With the rider, dethronement report untrue. This according to an official. And assembly dismisses fear as Sultanate Council ACF remain mum. The end saying Jack. The Federal Executive Council meeting holds today. FEC holds today. May consider new minimum wage for workers. This has dragged on for so long, and I'm still surprised that Labour is this quiet. Well, let's see. This from the Daily Trust. Cholera. FG activates emergency center. And this emergency center, most of all it will be doing, it will do tracking, it will keep people abreast, and it's going to have a lot of things to do to try to curtail the spread of cholera, first response and all that. Boko Haram terrorists abduct judge wife in Borno. And we have a picture here. That picture, I'll tell you more about that picture. Just for those who are watching, you can see the guys in Ashrebi, southern governors. You get to find out what they're talking about shortly. Varsities groan under heavy electricity bill. Kano Emirates tussle. Police take over Sanusi's security. And that is, they're the ones in charge. They beefed it up, and they also are watching over Barrero too. So both camps have some form of protection while we're waiting for the outcome of all the court cases and so on. Terrorists occupying Niger communities, as Niger State communities, slaughter chickens, pound yam. In fact, they're just having a jolly, feel good and filled day in that state. Well, the president has said that we're going to do a lot more to fight terrorism and all that. I hope this will be cut short soon. Bandits kill Sokoto Varsity's deputy vice chancellor. A very sad story. I'll take you now to Daily Independent. Daily Independent for today has a major headline, and it's still about the cholera outbreak. It says death toll rises to 53 across 31 states. Cases soar to 1,528. Riders. FG asks Nigerians to avoid locally prepared kunu, zobo. They didn't add this, but I will add it. Tiger nut juice. Some of those fruit juices that you do not know where they got the water from, where they got the bottle from, whether they treated the fruits, the things well, you do not even know. Avoid. Tell them to avoid you right now. Ogun laments lack of vaccine. Lagos starts contact tracing. And it's very crucial that we all take charge of ourselves. And it is said here that the Nigerian Center for Disease Control and Prevention, NCDC, on Monday disclosed that 53 deaths and 1,528 suspected cases of cholera have been recorded across the 31 states and 107 local government areas. Now, the case fatalities so far, the rate is at 3.5% since the beginning of 2024. Dr. Jide Idris, NCDC Director General, had made this known during a briefing regarding this cholera epidemiological situation and ongoing prevention and response efforts. The long and short of it is that they are calling on Nigerians to stay safe, be very, very vigilant, and do the right thing. I won't rest until insecurity is eliminated, Tinubu reassures. With the rider, says current security strategies yielding results. Guard Sultan jealously, Shetima tells Sokoto government. Plots to dethrone Sultan will backfire, Murik warns. Other riders or headlines from the Daily Independent. CSOs alert CBN, others over plots to frustrate banking sector reforms. Abiodun emerges chairman Southern Governors Forum, and Soludo will be like his vice, his deputy, and all that. That picture I told you about, that was the Southern Governors Forum. They had a meeting recently, and I'll tell you one major thing they talked about. Embattled former LG chairman protest in Rivers Council secretariats. Obi laments loss of 95 trillion naira through exit of companies from Nigeria. Pro-Wike lawmakers will fail to stall suits seeking to declare seats vacant. Pro-Wike lawmakers fail to stall suits seeking to declare seats vacant. So they're still sitting in a limbo. Senate insists on probing Buhari's 30 trillion naira ways and means loans. And finally, from Daily Independent, Tinubu names Olatunji Bello CEO FCCPC. We're talking about the consumer protection there. And I say congratulations, sir. All the best in your new office. And that's the very first story that hit my face. Immediately I switched over to The Nation newspaper. And that's what we're going to. The Nation newspaper. Tunji Bello is Consumer Protection Commission CEO. Now they also have the one on cholera. They give that breakdown too. And they say deaths in Lagos now 29. And court clears ex-Lagos Speaker Ikuforoji of money laundering. Ayedetiwa Ajayi clash over scrapping of 33 Ondo LCDAs. Major headlines under Senate committee seeks more facts from AG Fin probe of 30 trillion naira CBN loans to federal government. Now, this is a major one from The Nation and is a major one. They're saying why we insist on state police. This is by the Southern governors. And the writer is, as chief security officers, we should have control. Abiodun is forum chairman now. And this one simply goes on to tell us that they believe locals are better placed to fight crime because they understand the terrain and language. And they had met under the Southern Governors Forum, SGF, in Abeokuta. They appointed their host, Governor Dakwa Abiodun, as chairman. Anambra State Governor Charles Soludo was named vice chairman. There were other governors there, and that was a major thing they talked about, amongst others, why they're insisting on state police. Tinubu urges North to fight insurgency in unison. Why I put Northerners in charge of defense. He has an explanation on that. You can read that up on The Nation newspaper. States battle NLC over 30,000 naira wage payment default claim. You know, NLC has said some of you, even the former 30,000 naira, you did not even pay. And they listed the following states: Abia, Bayelsa, Delta, Enugu, Nasarawa, Adamawa, Niger, Borno, Sokoto, Anambra, Imo, Borno, Taraba, and Zamfara as states not paying the expired, take note, expired minimum wage that had been signed into law 5 years ago. So the question now is, the 250K, how we go do that one? Rivers crisis, pro-police protests rock council secretariats. They even have pro-police. That is to say, police make on us, they make on a not come out. All right, I'll take this one quickly before I join Rufai. Let's run through The Guardian. The listed firms, shareholders, 130 billion naira trapped in SEC Finance Ministry 5 years after. Why governors may stall new wage at state level. It will take decades or so to get out of banditry. The English is running from my mouth. Okay, I'll take it again. It will take decades to get out of banditry, Sultan laments. This is a problem. Something that starts in a day is easy to destroy. Something that had been built for so long now. This thing started just like that. And here we are, taking decades to get rid of banditry. That is what the Sultan is saying may just be the case. Sad. Cholera. Ogun records 1 death, 16 suspected cases. Obi expresses worry over exodus of multinationals. Yeah. After upsetting Kano, political tremors rumble around Sultan of Sokoto. A lot is not being said about this. They're just keeping quiet, but we'll find out soon. Northern politicians' visits to Buhari plots to unseat Tinubu in 2027. This is according to Shehu Sani. And on-meter electricity customers rise by 600,000 in 3 months. Why must they be unmetered? this is equal to what do they call that thing now? Estimated bill in Abi. Uh-huh. I wonder why. Hello, Rufai. Good morning.
That's the sad reality.
Yeah, very
So
sad.
I think the federal government always had a metering program. The question we should ask is what happened to that metering program?
And
And
then
that's the
yeah, and they're looking for more money
reflection.
to get more
Yeah.
meters.
And that's the reflection of the kind of country we live in. It is a very sad ordeal, and it is very, very shambolic. But I think what they're saying is they're looking for money for more meters. I think it's best we expedite action on that and see how we can also craft a lot of local producers of meters to be able to shore up the meter ecosystem, the metering ecosystem. I think that's going to work wonders as regards. I think another story breaking around I'd like to talk about is this visit of Atiku Abubakar. Atiku Abubakar said it's just a good-natured visit, to the former governor of Old Kaduna State. But to a large extent, some people are trying to skew, the visit. Otherwise, they're trying to say, oh, it's political. In fact, Shosone said it's their way to be able to upstage Tinubu and all of that, and they're going back and forth. I think let's not read meaning to everything politically. People can go and visit people during politics season. I think during Salah season. So it doesn't mean everything is political, and we should also be careful as regards back and forth as regards this. Let's really focus on the issues. What are the issues on ground? As we speak today, we have not seen a resolution to the minimum wage issue. I think those are matters that are on the front burner. We should look at critically and all of that. So the earlier we start to look at it, the better it is for all of us. The better it is our capacity, to be able to change things and be able to make things a whole lot better for ourselves. Another story that is making the round is this back and forth talk between Darpman and the Dangote refinery, where they are saying they are not bringing in dirty fuel and all of that. But it's quite sad that the capacity of the fuel they bring into Nigeria is a very polluted one. The acceptable limit, where some countries are doing that 50 ppm parts per million of sulfur.
Yeah.
We are doing way higher than that. And you look at the kind of environmental pollution and the proliferation of all sorts of diseases in the country, and you're wondering what is going on. And that's why, to a large extent, we also need to be able to empower local refining and see how we can also build capacity across board in the system, because that's how we can grow our nation. So that's why you're seeing all sorts of back and forth as regards that and all of that. And let me quickly talk about debt, because since the day I talked about debt, there's been a lot of narrative spinning about debt, and people are now trying to claim that our dollar debt went down. That's where, so because of that we didn't borrow more. It's not true, and I'm going to give you the numbers this morning. Our dollar debt went down because our currency was devalued. So if you devalue a currency, if a currency is less in value, you need more of that currency to be able to buy dollars. And since you devalue to about 1,000 something, then definitely your debt in dollar terms will go down. But the real borrowing was the domestic debt. I'll give you an instance. Take, for instance, do you know that the Tinubu administration, in the space of a couple of months, about a year has been in power, he's gone to the bond market to raise over 20.1 trillion. 20.1 trillion there is even more than the alleged ways and means Buhari took in 8 years. I said alleged ways and means advisedly because now the House of Assembly, the Senate is beginning to do an investigation to show that when you look at the ways and means numbers, that it was not even up to that 20-something trillion they first highlighted, that it was about 7-point-something trillion. So we should be careful as regards all those people that try to skew faulty narrative as regards debt. We are taking a lot of debt. Like I said before, what President Tinubu has taken is close to half of what Buhari has taken in the 8 years. It's just a humongous amount of debt. And it's piling up.
Hello? All right. Okay, the network just tripped off, and we're waiting for it to come back. Once it comes back, it will continue from where it just stopped right now. He was talking about the debts and all that. We still have Punch and Vanguard. I'll share those with you once we're done with this. Maybe we'll try and reconnect with Rufai. The network usually has a mind of its own sometimes. And I wonder, come on, guys, what's going on? How come our network is hardly ever stable when we need it to be? Well, we're looking forward to the day when we'll have very stable internet and all that here in Nigeria. And we're here. Is it there? Okay. All right, we'll continue to work on that. Let's quickly take the Vanguard while we sort that out. Let's look at the Vanguard. NCDC declares cholera emergency, sets up measures, and it has various riders there. You could check those riders up. It gives you the figures, the number of people that have come down with it, and it says investigations ongoing to reveal source of outbreak, and that vaccines are not readily available in public hospitals. Lagos engages Danish firm to construct 100 public toilets. Why a Danish firm?
Hello?
Okay, we're back here. Sorry, that network just stripped off. Okay, Karen, you were talking about the debts.
Oh, was it that debt? I finished that too.
My brother, if you carry on for anywhere you feel like, now so network do.
Okay. So as I was saying, so I was talking about okay, after debt I talked about FCC PC that Tunji Bello has been put in there. And I also wanted to quickly talk about the back and forth as regards the ownership of First Bank, which Otedola has finally gotten. So that's one. I also want to talk about this, peace parley that was done in Katsina State as regards insecurity, where the president was speaking, and the president was saying a lot about, our national unity and things like that. It has to be said, yes, we understand the challenges. We do these peace parties from now till time immemorial. But the question we should ask is, what are the lasting solutions we normally get? We always have a problematic scenario. And we must look at all of this closely. We always have a problematic scenario as regards, the situation on the ground, as regards finding lasting solution. So is it kinetic approach or non-kinetic approach? I don't adopt. People have always advocated that it has to be a clear mix of both. Secondly, what are also the things to be done to be able to ensure that we have a lasting solution to the problem, apart from all the summitry? There must be a great emphasis on how we can create jobs. To a large extent, the problem has always been job creation in these areas. So how can we create jobs? How can we bolster an economy in those areas? Because these are factors that, if left unaddressed or left unchecked, it's going to create problems. Secondly, we must be able to have an holistic welfare system across board in this country that deals with health, that deals with education, that deals with housing, and that deals with provision of employment opportunities. In fact, there's something in England that is famously touted. It's called leveling up. So the areas that need to be leveled up economically need to be leveled up. We need to make attempts to be able to also create industrialization in parts of the country that has not been industrialized. I mean, these are challenges that we face day in, day out. And we also need to be able to build capacity nationwide to be able to bring about prosperity and peace and progress for our teeming country. So, I mean, these are factors that, if we don't address, we are not ready to go any further. We're ready to go forward. But if we're ready to address it, we're ready to go forward. So, apart from talk, bullet, insecurity talk, we need to also move one step further, and also ensure that we do what is right. I think that's also important. The PRP is also reacting this morning. The PRP is calling this attempt to go buy this private